How's it going, everybody? Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review. Today, the review is brought to you by titanonetoys. titanonetoys is actually, he was super generous to loan this to me because I don't even think he was planning on keeping one. But go ahead and hit him up, see if he's got these. Fantastic seller. Check him out. But the figure we're reviewing today is the Ocular Max Perfection series. This is Hellion. And this is their take on a third-party style cliff jumper. And I'm not sure exactly how to recommend this figure. Because on the one hand, there's some things about it that I really like. And there's some things about it that I really hate. And ultimately, I feel like the best option, I don't know, like I almost feel like it might be best to just say, you know, instead of dealing with this whole like love-hate relationship thing, it might be best to just, you know, go for another one like the X-Transbots Toro. But I don't know. Again, you know, it's all personal opinion and whatnot. I don't ever offer anything as, you know, fact or truth with a capital T. You know, it's just opinion. My opinion, your opinion, everybody's got an opinion. And none of them are technically wrong. That's the nature of an opinion. But, I don't know. Let's get into this and I'll go over some of the things that I really like and some of the things that I really don't like. So, this is their take on Masterpiece Cliff Jumper. I really like, one of the things that I do like is how he cleans up really well. Bit of a backpack there, bit of a thick torso, but you know, I mean, everything's got to go somewhere eventually, right? Of course, my recommendation for Toro was to do some freaking surgery on it to take the backpack entirely off. And that's not an ideal solution for a lot of people anyhow. But I do think that overall it makes for a really great figure when you do that modification to it. This one, I don't know. It looks good. It looks pretty good. I think that if they had taken this part out right here and just had it go straight to his crotch, and I'm not sure exactly how they could have done that. I'm sure they could have if they wanted to. But I feel like this whole area here just looks weird on him. And I guess the more I've handled him, the less I really feel that way. But I do like the proportions of the feet, how his feet are so like small and narrow. That's one of the things that I really like about it. I think it's kind of weird how he's got a steering wheel that's okay, but like gets in the way back here. And there's no way for it to like fold up enough to be out of the way or like fold down enough to be out of the way. It's just perpetually in the way. I think that's kind of weird. But anyhow, actually in this mode, there's one of the things that I don't like about him. I don't like his face sculpt at all. I think his face sculpt, first of all, is kind of uninspiring. But second of all, like his helmet and his face is all molded in one piece. And it's painted with this like flat gray plastic or flat gray paint, and it just kind of sucks up all the detail and kind of like makes that all just you know. And so, but he comes with alternate heads. You can just take this and just like yank his head off. Oops, and he'll fall down. He's got this one here where he's like, grr. And he's got this one here where he's like, And so we're going to stick the face on him. And that's all that there is to it. In this mode, his accessories that it comes with, because he actually comes with quite a pile of accessories. it's really interesting because he comes with, I mean, he's a masterpiece sized style scaled figure, but he comes with a fair amount of accessories, plus the figure itself. But he's got to be the smallest box I've seen in a long time. Like his box is just like, my phone's making noise. I put it on airplane mode though. His box is just like super tiny. Like you could fit like 2 of those boxes in a Masterpiece Bumblebee box. So here's one of his guns that it comes with. And that'll fit into his hand via your typical Masterpiece tab system. His hand his hand is freaking tiny. But it feels a little awkward to put, the tab past his thumb and whatnot. But, you get it in there and it holds really well, He comes with a more rifle or carbine style weapon, which fits exactly the same. And he does have like the 3 fingers and then the 1 finger, so you can like kind of pull his trigger finger out just a little bit, like he's got it resting on the trigger. But it's, hardly noticeable at this scale. And then he also comes with his cannon thingamajig, his glass gas cannon. And that has got, the little handle is on a swivel, so you can have it sitting flush against his arm, or you can bend it like this, and he can bring it up and rest the end of it like on top of his shoulder. And that's kind of cool, though. I feel like maybe it's a little undersized, but I think this is about how it was in the show. Just, the merchandising afterwards have, inflated it to unrealistic proportions. That media and their unrealistic proportions. He does come with a little bipod on that. And I'm not sure how well, but he could do it fairly well because his neck goes like hella up. And so he could probably lay on the ground and you could probably give him some sort of a, I don't know, like he's laying down cover fire or whatnot. But anyhow, that's it for his robot mode accessories. In terms of articulation, his head goes all the way around. It's got a multiple joint system in here, so it will look like way down and look way up. Though keep in mind that you're gonna be distending his neck joint to the point where it's just gonna start looking ridiculous. I think it looks better looking all the way up than it looks looking all the way down, but whatever. His shoulders are on this universal joint that go all the way around. Does the full tree pose. Upper bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. He's got wrist swivels. The aforementioned fingers move, 3 fingers and the 1 finger. He does have a functional bicep swivel or ab crunch here. Waist joint here. Leg goes forward that much, goes back a lot more actually. He's got approximately 120% Van Damme. His upper bicep swivels. He has just a single joint for the knee, but it goes a little over 90 degrees. Not a whole lot over 90 degrees, but a little bit over. His foot is on a joint here that swivels like that. A little bit of forward and back motion as well, mostly technically forward. His feet are actually, so I like the proportions of them. I don't like that the tire ends up on the bottom of the foot. I know that they did this because, oh, hey, if you put it on the part of the foot, then the rubber of the tire provides good traction. But what it seems to end up doing is having issues with like the alignment of that tire, and it makes it so that the bottom of his foot has kind of an irregular shape. Of course, now that I'm showing it on camera, my first impression was that it was giving his foot an irregular shape and making it harder for him to stand. But he actually seems to be standing fairly well right now that I'm showing it all off. So whatever. Way to prove me wrong, cliff jumper. All right, I guess it's pretty good. I don't know. That was one of the issues that I had with him initially. So to get this guy transformed up, I'm going to start with the upper body first because that's the biggest pain in the ass. There's this. So the first step that you do is you're going to pull out his arms. And I like to move his shoulders back like that so we can pull this out all the way. There's a panel here that's already started to pull out. I think that's supposed to be glued and may have come unglued. As a side effect, you'll notice that there's these little tabs right here, and we're looking at like red on top of red on top of red, so maybe I'll use something to point them out. These little tabs right here. And they kind of fold around as you pull this and transform it. But because this seam here seems to have come unglued or loose somehow, this one likes to fold all the way under. And so then I have to like dig it out and put it in the proper alignment here. So we're going to take this and fold this out a bit. That's going to allow us to pull the back of this out just a bit, but not a whole lot. And this is one of the things that bugs me, is that he's got these aforementioned tabs, right? And as you pull them out, they like kind of like, see how this one is kind of pulling around the curvature of that chest area? Like, that's just, it's going to scratch all that paint there. I know it. And then, not to mention, when you get this thing now, the doors are fighting it. And the doors, it's recommended, by the way, that you get, let me pull these out first, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. It's recommended that you get about in this position here. This is what the instructions show you, and this is what, what's his name's review or video instructions online show you. You get to about this point here, and then you put these in, right? And then you have to fold this, but in order to fold this, you'll notice that these tabs are pressing up against the doors right now. And when you do that, you're like raking them across the doors. And there's that tab issue that I was talking about. Of course, you have to have that tab up, because if you don't have that tab up, it conflicts with the doors, and then nothing fits properly. There we go. I don't know. I like the effect that it has, but getting the doors to fold into the chest like that is just a complete pain in the butt. And transforming it back out is also a complete pain in the butt, because I'm worried that these tabs are going to stress out. And I mean, I don't really see a lot of stress in these tabs, to be perfectly honest. Some of these tabs are showing some stress, and I've only transformed it like just a few times. But I mean, you can see like a little bit of stressing in the tabs. I don't know if you can see it on this camera here, but I can see it with my eye holes. And it's making me nervous, man. And like just how everything is just like having to sit here and fight with each other, and just, it's frustrating. And the end result ends up looking fairly good, and I like what it does for the figure, but it's frustrating. I don't like that. It's scary as hell to get those tabs to go around. Super scary. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anyhow, enough of that though. Well, I've got all this backpack folded itself up while I wasn't even looking. So we're going to take his head and we're going to fold it up through here. I like to turn it around, actually. Makes it fit just a little bit better in my opinion. You'll notice that we've got this little sliding joint in here. And right now it's slid out. We're going to need to slide that in. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Yeah, just like that. Otherwise, this seam doesn't connect up. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to fold these around. We're going to fold this part flat and then put it so his shoulders are touching each other on the other side. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take his arms. We're going to unfold. Probably should have done this one. It was probably easier to follow, actually, if I did it before I folded them in. But we're going to take this, we're going to unfold this. And then we're going to rotate this around. And then we're going to open up these panels here. And then this hand is going to go from this position. It's going to fold back on this double hinge. So now what you're going to end up with is this is basically going to turn from an arm into, here's the back of the seat, here's the bottom of the seat, and here's the floorboard right here. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. So pull this up here, fold this hand up. Pull this up, flip that around, open up this panel all the way, bring this seat back on its double hinge. And then kind of bring them up into their final position. Ta-da! Now for the feet. For the feet, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this panel out. We're going to disconnect. There's a tab right here that's got this panel tab connected in. We're going to carefully untab that and rotate it out. That's going to allow us to rotate out the tire. And then that will allow us to fold the foot up into this position here, from here, like that. And then we can take this panel here and rotate it around, and that'll fold into there, and this will come down, and this tab will just tuck under the hood, like so. And that's one foot right there. We're going to do the same for the other foot. So extend this out, carefully untab that. Oh, I missed a step, didn't I? Because at this point here, you want to flip this panel out. And then flip the tire up. And then flip this out. And then rotate this around. And then fold that down and tuck that little tab in. So all I did is I missed like one little tab. It ain't the end of the world. But I may have to untransform part of it. Son of a gun. All right, so now we've got a tab here, and you'll see this tab, it's got a little hook on it. That's gonna have to hook underneath the other one. It will not just go straight in, and it will not just go straight out. So I've tabbed it together with the feet extended like this. I definitely recommend extending it out before you untab them as well. So now we're going to take this, we're going to bend the feet all the way forward and then rotate this butterfly joint up. That's going to put the steering wheel and the dashboard into their proper position right there. This came untabbed, that's fine. And we're going to take and we're going to rotate it, slide it in on these joints here. Slide that in all the way. It just came untabbed here. So both of these tabs have got to slide up over this die cast little spot right there. And then they'll kind of hook in underneath the windshield. You want to have the doors able to be open at this point. They don't necessarily have to be hanging open, but you want them to be able to be open because you're going to pull this floorboard up and then tab it into this spot here. And that will keep that all together. When you're transforming this back into car mode, make sure you pull that tab off first because it doesn't like being pulled on. It's a small tab with a small attachment, and just transforming it once or twice is just putting a little bit of stress on it. And so I'm just super nervous about that too. And I guess that kind of sums up, you know, one of the things that bugs me about this figure is that there's just, I mean, I love this engineering, you know, the arms especially, like when I was transforming it from the vehicle mode into the robot mode and I undid it and like did the arm transformation was like, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I was really kind of blown away by it. But as I played with this figure a bit more and just realized how many tabs there are to just be nervous about and how many tabs that make me feel nervous, like it was concerning to me. Anyhow, so here he is in his car mode. His car mode is the Porsche. It's the like penny racer proportions though. So instead of being all long as felt like the Porsche is supposed to be, it's, you know, kind of like chunky looking. He does have a few accessories that operate solely in this mode here. If we pull up this panel here, which may actually be easier to do, to push from the other side. I really need, hey, here's a thinner spudger. Pull that in under there. Pull that panel up. He has a replacement panel here, and that'll just fit in with that single tab, like so. And then on top of that, there will go this tiny little gun thing, because there was a point in the show where Cliffjumper extended a little gun from his hood, and everybody from the end of time is like, oh my gosh, we have to recreate that specific scene. And I have not yet put this on because, again, tiny plastic, thin tabs, it's making me nervous, and I didn't want to actually like do it and then like break it, and I'm still concerned about breaking it, but I kind of want to like show you guys just so you know what to see. It seems like this hole here needs to be cleared out. It was probably molded to size and then painted afterwards. And paint can affect the tolerance of parts. I don't know. It's supposed to stick there like that. I can't even show it. I don't know. I think it looks silly. But like so much about, and I know everybody's going to hate me for this, but like, I mean, I like Transformers. I love Transformers. I grew up watching Transformers the show. I was born in 1982, so I didn't grow up watching the G1 because I was like 2 when it came out. But I grew up watching the G2 syndication. So I mean, I have experience with the show, and I've seen a lot of it. I don't know that it's super aged really well, and it's got a lot of stuff on it that's like really like an artifact of the 80s. And there's a lot of things that I'm just like, I don't know, that's kind of dumb, or kind of silly looking, or kind of weird, or whatnot. And some tiny little gun protrusion out of the hood is like super like James Bond kind of, but like James Bond from the 70s for sure. And I think that's probably what they were going for with that, but it ends up being difficult to execute on a toy this size. And so, like, I like that it's there for like show accuracy and whatnot, but I don't know that I would necessarily do that if I owned this toy, just because A, it's kind of silly looking, and B, it's nerve-wracking, and C, I didn't even get it to work. Let's not forget that point. He also comes with 4 of these little skid things. And by the way, last time I was filming with this camera, it shut off at the 27-minute mark, and I'm at the 26-minute mark now, so be prepared, I guess. Anyhow, there's a hole in the middle of his hub, which you can see pretty clearly, and there's a peg on this. All 4 of these little ski things are identical, so it doesn't matter which one you pick up and which tire you put it into. But each of these will go on a tire. And then this one here, there's this grill area here, these little indentations, and there's corresponding tabs here. That'll stick onto there and just tab right in. And now he's got like a little ski mode. And I mean, that's fun, I suppose. I mean, I don't know that it's more fun than like rolling a car around, but you know, again, it references a scene in the show, and so it's nice that it's there, but I don't know that that's necessarily how I would display it if I... The camera says that it ran out of space on the SD card, but I happen to know that the SD card is mostly empty, and I also happen to know that it was going to run out exactly at 27 minutes, so geez, can I tell the future or what? I think I need to get a real camera. That's my next thing. Saving up for it, guys. I'm just... yeah. Anyhow, but that's Cliff Jumper. I don't have anything left to show on him. He comes with this little box and this little thing. He came with a collector card, which they happily bent for me already. Because I guess, I mean, that will fit in there unbent. But it came bent already, so whatevs. Anyhow, so this is the Ocular Max Hellion, and thank you everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic, and I'm going to have to edit this video to add in this like 1 additional minute of talking. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.